The prairie stretched out before Adam, grand and empty. Dull to cross to be sure, but he had to, all to get to his next job. As he came upon a lake, something broke the surface. It rose higher and higher, as it towered over the landscape. A massive serpent, but worst was the horns on its head. Its scales glistened, while a gem glowed in its forehead. The air above it churned as the clouds darkened. A storm was brewing. Adam was awed to the point where he forgot the danger before him. Welcome to Mythical Phylogeny Adventures. I'm your guide, Jason. Today, we turn our attention to a particularly powerful creature, the horned serpent. There are horned serpents found throughout the world. While similar creatures do appear in European, Mesopotamian, African, and Asian tales, yet I want to look at those found in North America. There are variations found in Navajo, Cherokee, and Lakota legends, just to begin. Sorry right now, I will probably be butchering some of these pronunciations. They do have similarities to the feathered and plumed serpents you also see in Native American mythology. Occasionally, the two blur the lines. In the Creek or Muskogee Indians, they describe the horned serpents as underwater serpents. They have large fangs in their mouth. Its body is covered in iridescent crystalline scales, which shine brilliantly. In its head is a gleaming jewel. Both are used in divination magic, yet its deer-like horns, Chitogabiari, are used to produce medicine. Yet this is not an evil serpent, but a good one. It won't harm humans, but does have the power to command the wildlife. With the Alabamu or Alabama, they call the horned serpent Tinto Sakto, and its horns divide them into 4 groups based on horn color, either red, blue, yellow, or white. For the Cherokee, call it Uktena, and it is as big around as a tree. They say its scales sparkle like fire. The gem on its forehead is a diamond crescent. This diamond is called Yulun Suti. Its long body is covered in rings and spots. It is nearly impervious, except for striking it at the 7th spot on its head. For beneath this spot is its heart. Now, this gem is invaluable. If you get hold of it, you may become the greatest craftsman in the village. Yet the attempt is not easy. The bright light shining from its body can transfix anyone who sees it, and they will walk towards the horned serpent rather than flee. Yet it has one additional power, a corrosive breath attack, that if you breathe even one wisp of it, you will die. It even appears in a legend called Daughter of the Sun, and involves the sun's cruelty towards humans. The Sioux and Lakota refer to them as Unsela, and frequently fought the Thunderbirds and the giant bear. This was the version that I first learned of. The serpent would devour a whole village, save for 2 brothers, one of which was blind. A weasel spirit would approach them and offer advice. Depending on the tale, either the blind brother receives an arrow from the medicine woman and hits the horned serpent in the gem on its head, and it falls to the ground, creating devastation, and with it the Badlands. Among others, the brother with sight is swallowed by the horned serpent, where he cuts his way to freedom from within, and frees his village trapped inside the serpent's belly. In other tales, they have other powers, such as commandment of floods and storms, shapeshifting, and other magic powers. In many tales, the horned serpent aids and teaches individuals, even rescuing a stranded boy from an island. In another tale, a baby horned serpent was found and raised by a child. As for one story about their shapeshifting, one story that I have been told but haven't been able to find a written example of comes from the southwestern tribes. A princess bathed in the purified waters of the horned serpent's pool. It was offended by her actions and entered her house, where it grew and coiled about. Only after she agreed to marry it did it take human form. Sorry that I couldn't find the full details on it, but it shows us what it can do with its shapeshifting. Changes in size and length are easy. It also reveals some healing and purifying powers. Now, I couldn't find the exact tale, so I can't confirm that it was a horned serpent or a feathered serpent. So take this section with a few grains of salt. So now it is time to answer the question I proposed at the start. Is the horned serpent a dragon? Okay, how do we define dragon? Generally, I refer to dragon as a magical creature with reptilian traits. Well, a snake is very reptilian. So does it have magic? Oh boy, do they have magic. Let's see. Divination from its gem, enchantment coming from its scales. We can't say for certain if its poison breath is magic, only that it is very deadly. Besides that, there is a whole list of other magical powers. Not to mention, it flies. Oh, and let's not forget that it is intelligent. They can think and plan. So, should we place the horned serpent in the dragon family? Yes, definitely so. Oh, and it has similarities to other dragons, such as Yamato no Orochi, that we talked about a couple of months ago. A giant 8-headed snake dragon. Definitely a close relative. But there is another dragon, which has a gem in its forehead. In French mythology, there is the Vouivre, a dragon woman, which also has a valuable magic gem in the same spot. Interesting how there are two dragons with the same issue located on different continents. How powerful is it? It picks fights with thunderbirds, and that was a creature which could pull whales from the ocean, which meant that they had to wield incredible strength. Not to mention that the thunderbird has lightning attacks, which the horned serpent isn't immune to. Most dragons are said to be resistant to all attacks, both magical and physical. So shouldn't it be resistant to the attacks? Well, the thunderbird has enough power to blanket the sky in storm clouds. So let's be honest, it should never be considered a lightweight in terms of raw power. Being resistant to a type of magic isn't immunity, and the thunderbird can use its beak and talons to get through the tough scales. Yet, we need to figure out why the 7th spot on its head covers its heart. Normally, the heart is in the chest, even for snakes. It is never mentioned how big those spots are, so perhaps the 7th spot isn't actually on the head, but mid-back. Though a dragon's anatomy could be a little different. Now they have a deadly breath, but they kept a village alive inside them. That means there needs to be a safe place where the poison doesn't reach. Since the serpent ate them, we can assume that the place is near the stomach, which means the poison must be coming from the lungs. Potentially, the different horn colors could either indicate different subspecies with different powers and personalities, or could be a very simple phenotypic trait, like hair color. The latter does seem like the most likely, personally. What do you think? Do you agree with the dragon designation for the horned serpent? So those twins succeeded in defeating the horned serpent. Can we figure it out? Let's be honest, this was no easy feat for them. It has skills which are nearly impenetrable. Even for the blind twin, he relied on a magic arrow to penetrate its weak point. This will take planning, Our first problem is getting to it. Usually, it is found either in lakes or flying. Both pose an issue. The second more so once the battle begins. If it is in a lake, it would be wise to wait and ambush it. The Horned Serpent has a poison breath attack, which means that you trying to poison the lake would probably be difficult and would have lasting consequences to deal with. No, patience is going to be important. Wait until it exposes itself, and that again is going to be a problem. The scales are said to entrance people, blind them to the danger that they are in. If you are blind, you can't see it and are safe. So fight it blindfolded? No, that would be difficult. If you could create a cloud of fog or darkness, that should work. If the scales are crystalline, they are all reflecting the light, and that reflection is what lures you in. Yet potentially, if you could flood the area with too much light, you might wash it out and prevent the entrancement. It will spew forth poison from its mouth. Make sure that you don't breathe it. Having a powerful wind spell to blow it away. If not, you need to not breathe it. So safer as an undead? Sadly, than among the living. If not, load up on poison resistance potions and antidotes. You'll need a lot of them, but it might help out. Its scales are nearly impossible to get through, save for two weaknesses. The seventh spot on its head, or going in through the mouth. I don't like the second one. You are walking into the mouth of a creature with a deadly breath attack. What could possibly go wrong? Only everything! Yeah, it would be too easy to fail. So, go after the weak spot. That means a range attack is best. A bow can reach it, at least some of the time. I can't tell you the range of its breath attack, but it would need to swoop down if it wants to eat you. That is a bit of bait that you can set up. Not easy, but possible. You will need to make a plan. Make it. Get some food to lure it down. While eating, it will be momentarily unguarded. From a vantage point, fire. You will need skilled archers. Melee weapons will struggle to get through the scales, but an arrow can reach the seventh spot easier. Magic is possible, but it will require an excessive amount of force to achieve this. So it is unlikely that a single spell will achieve victory. A group might be another story. Yet, it will take some effort. Luck is going to be critical to achieve victory here. You also need to be afraid of its other magic. Shapeshifting and weather control are just the tip of the iceberg. There is no knowing the full power that it will bring forth. Not to mention, they have been known to bring massive floods. Now, what would happen if you do try to enter the mouth and don't die? You'll need to work quick and have a good knife to start cutting. Go for the heart and spine. You'll need to work quickly, but be careful. But there is a known safe point. If you enter the mouth, move quickly. Don't piddle about. Have a light spell or torch to offer guidance to see what is going on. The Horned Serpent is no simple foe. This is clearly a 10 of 10 difficulty in battle. Don't underestimate it, and take every preparation that you can muster. You will need to choose your weapons and locations well. Scales of the Horned Serpent are invaluable. They open up divination magic on the low end. Though for those who can claim the diamond crest on its head, it is worth even more. With that, you can create the greatest of treasures. What that means is a little unclear. Does it work as a reagent, an ingredient in your creations? Or does it provide inspiration? If it is the later, you'll get more use from it. Its poison breath is way too dangerous to even attempt to use. Fatal with one breath. Yeah, not a good idea. Rest of the remains are the normal, but eating them could be dangerous if they harbor any of the poison within. But more commonly, the horned serpents are helpful. They have aided countless people, from lost and stranded folk on islands to more involved conflicts. So most interactions will fall into this category. Healing and purification, amongst so much more. They could even aid you in battle to great lengths. Adam looked in awe as the horned serpent took to the sky. It soared high above him as he watched transfixed, unable to move as he marveled at the gleaming scales. Higher and higher it rose as the rain began to fall. Pulling his cloak tight, he started to run. His attention pulled back to the present as the horned serpent vanished into the clouds. His mind was left to think about the incredible creature. The horned serpent covers a wide range of stories, every tribe having their own variation. Thank you for watching, adventurers. Please return next time for the Bulgosari. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.